Hello, hello, everybody. How are you doing on this beautiful Friday? I hope you're having a great day so far. It's about lunchtime. Maybe you're enjoying your lunch and joining me for your break. Hello, Ware. Hello, Roberta. Hello, Vicki and Alexandra. Hello, Catherine and Jen. Hello, Jen. Nice to see you all here. I'm so glad you could join me live. If you're joining me on replay, be sure to leave a comment, hit the thumbs up. This video, I know that not everybody can do it during the afternoon on a Friday, but I'm so glad that you guys came and you're watching on replay, and it's very kind of you to spend your time with me today. So, if you joined me for the Weekender event a few weeks ago, or you follow me on Instagram, and let me put my Instagram up. So that's me on Instagram. I shared a post and a lot of stories from the Spellbinders warehouse, and it was an amazing place. And when I was there, I actually mentioned to Kim Kesty, that I had never purchased a BetterPress, and she could not believe it. And the reason why I was holding out was because I know some of you do the same. You kind of figure out where your money is going to be well spent. And I thought, the plates, they're a lot to buy. And even though I love that feel of the letterpress cards, I thought maybe I should hold off. But Spellbinders really generously gifted it to me, the BetterPress system. And today I'm working with the BetterPress of the Month kit for June. And I am so excited to now have the BetterPress, guys. I don't know why I held out for so long. So today I'm going to show you what it can do in two different ways. Jen is in Watermelon Cabin. Yay! So in a couple of weeks, we have Concord and Ninth's summer camp, and I am the Watermelon Camp Counselor, if you didn't know that. So if you received your box and you had that watermelon tissue paper, you are in my cabin. That's awesome, Roberta. That's so cool. And Kathy. They must have known. They must have known. That's so cool. That's so cool. Okay. So, if you guys don't know, Spellbinders has a lot of different clubs, and those are kits, but they call them clubs. And you can choose anything from the stamp of the month, the large die of the month, so you can build scenes with your dies. There's a small die of the month. There are so many different options, and I put links below. Let me just put that up. I put links to what I'm showing below, but you can also find the links to, the clubs down there. So you can just check them out. No pressure at all. You can actually, starting on the 1st of the month, they show you actually what's in the club. So there's no secrets. And you can cancel your club membership at any time. I am actually a club member. I subscribe to the embossing folder of the month, and that is soon to be on its way to me. So I'm really excited to play with that one. So later in the month, I will be showing you the stamp and die of the month with the embossing folder of the month. And Jen just pointed out, and I'm going to say, the clubs are a great value. The embossing folder of the month is $9 a month for a large embossing folder. It's the 2D, and I love it every single month. And the reason why I subscribed was because I decided I didn't have enough embossing folders, and Spellbinders always has amazing designs. So I just subscribed. And Laura says, to me, the BetterPress is foolproof. I love it. And then you can foil too. And that's what I'm going to show you guys today. Yeah, Roberta said it's an early camp cabin hangout today. And I love that you guys have your watermelon colors on your pictures too. So Kathy, I was exactly the same. I was holding off because I am a minimalist in my scrapbooking room. Whenever I do a tour of my room, which is probably soon because I'm getting close to organization wise where I want to be, but I don't like a lot of things, and everything has to have a home within my room. And so I was the same way. I didn't want another platform, but I'm really glad that I do have this now. So let me show you what I'm working with today. And you guys keep chatting, I'll just keep watching. That's the thing I love about lives, is that you can chat away with everybody here. So this is what I'm using today. And this is the BetterPress of the month for June 2024. It's called, I got like bars here, hold on. I'll have to move that down, I think. So it is called Summertime Palms. It has 3 press plates and 2 dies. So with the press plates, you get the big palm background. Then you get 2 sentiments, which I love because there's 2 different options there. Then you get the coordinating dies too. So there's no fussy cutting on your sentiments. So it's really a one-stop shop to a card. And with the cards that I created today, I didn't use anything else besides cardstock and foil. So if you subscribe to this club, you know, it's different every time. You don't know if you're going to get a full size or sentiments, but it's different every time. So it's kind of really fun to see what you get. Roberta says, looks like an early, no, I like that it doesn't need an outlet to use it. Yeah, for the BetterPress, if you do the letterpress, you don't need an outlet at all. You just need your die cutting machine to press it. So the cards that I shared on my Instagram today, that I'm sharing with you that I'm going to be recreating, we're doing a letterpress. So this one, I really wish I could show you how cool this is, but you can run your fingers over it and it has a debossed where the palm leaves are. So it's such a cool technique and it just feels like a high-end card. That's what I love about letterpress. It's kind of like those cards that you pay like $5 or $6 for. I haven't bought a card in a while, so I think they're still like $6, right? Hello, Lorraine. How are you? I think they're still about $6. So, but it feels like it costs a lot, right? That letterpress technique just makes it feel like money. It's nice. Then you can take your BetterPress and foil with it too. If you have, look at that, the camera's like freaking out. If you have a Glimmer hot foil system, and mine is on right now, and so I just want to make sure it's going to stay on while I'm talking to you, because I want to do that one first so that we can turn that off because it's been warming up for a bit. So if you guys have any questions about these while I'm running it through, ask your questions here, because like some of you have said, you know, I was a holdout. I didn't think I needed it, but oh my gosh, you guys, the possibilities with a BetterPress plate are amazing. And I've sat here and let me just show you, I've just played with different colors and, you know, different ideas and running it through once and running it through twice. And I just had a lot of fun playing. So what I'm starting out with is the gold foil. This is from Spellbinders. It doesn't have the packaging, but this is the Spellbinders gold foil. If you can see here, I have a 3-year-old who likes to grab things out of my foil cards. I have all my foiling stuff on a card over here, and he just thought it would be really fun to like put his finger in and pull this out. So now my foil is all wonky, but it's okay, it still works. Okay, I'm gonna show you the Glimmer hot foil system here, and I'm gonna go wide. Okay, so what I wanna do is I'm gonna take this off actually. With the Glimmer hot foil system, you get this really cool magnet. I'm just gonna let this cool for a second. I probably shouldn't have heated that up right away because I want to adhere my paper to the foil plate. And I'm gonna sit back down because I realize my camera's up there. It is a gorgeous plate, Lorraine, and all of the Spellbinders club kits this month are kind of summery themed and gorgeous, and like there's beach scenes and there's cute little hippos who are at the beach, and there's so many cute things. But this one is gorgeous, and it's really high end looking, I would say. Like it makes for a really gorgeous card. Now the Glimmer plate, it's hot, right? So whatever you take off of there, you want to make sure you're careful with it. What I'm going to do here is kind of just get my paper where I want it to go on this plate and put a little tape around it. Now what I'm going to do is make sure that I don't burn myself here by just pushing. I just pushed it off my desk so that I could wrap the tape around. See there how I did a little, I'm making a little fold. And I watched Yana do that, Yana Smakula, who is the expert on all things Spellbinders. And I watched her do this and I was like, that is so genius, because before I was just putting everything on the plate and then I didn't know if my paper was in the right place, and it was a little bit frustrating. So I'm going to cut off this piece of foil, and then I'm going to cut my foil to kind of an A2 size, you know, approximate here. And these Spellbinders scissors, I forgot to put them on my list, but oh my goodness, these are great for cutting your foil. These are the Pro Shears, my favorite scissors ever. And I tell my family they're not allowed to touch them because they're really good. What is it about good scissors? Like everybody wants your good scissors when you get a pair, you know? Okay, so what we do is put the pretty side of the foil down. So you're going to be looking at the silver side. And I'm going to pop this inside here, just like so. It's just about covering. And I'm going to close that off and make sure that my A2 card panel and my foil, like the foil is underneath that A2 card panel, and there's no like weirdness going on, no ridges. Now I'm going to cut my A2 card panel down a bit, so I will have some room if something is off, but I just want to get it put in place. And right now I'm struggling because my foil is trying to come up on me. Okay, let's see if I can get it down. So you're creating like a little book fold here. Foil is a little bit tricky because it likes to move. That's why, you know, having a good pair of scissors to cut it is important. Okay, there we go. So now once I get it in place, I'm just going to trim this little piece off here. So Vicky really likes hot foiling. I think once you start doing it, it is such a game changer. I'm just going to cut this little piece off if I can, or maybe I can't. Okay, there we go. That's good enough. It really is amazing what you can do with it. Okay, so you can see here where the foil is not going to be on the plate, and I'm going to put a little piece of the Best Ever craft tape here to hold that down. Okay, so that looks about right, and I'm going to put my press plate here, okay, and then I'm going to turn it off and back on so I can hit that timer button, and the platform will tell me it's ready. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this on because this is already going to kind of get that heat built up on that press plate, and then we can hit our timer light on. So let me talk to you while this is heating up real quick about, you know, things that I found when foiling. Bigger sections of foiling can be a bit more tricky. So now that my platform ready light is on, I'm just going to hit the timer. And you have to kind of find the right combination of cardstock to foil to pressure, you know, that sort of thing. I would say that this is one of the techniques that it's not like the first time you do it, it's going to be perfect. You might have to change your cardstock. You might have to put a shim in it. You might, you know, it's according to what I use the Spellbinders Platinum 6, which is this created for, but it's one of those things that you have to play with. You have to find kind of what works. So this is the first time that I've actually done the sandwich, which is a little bit nerve-wracking, but I saw Yana do it. So I think if Yana does it, then I'm gonna go for it, because she's like I said, the Spellbinders Pro. So we're gonna give it a try. So I have my Platinum 6 here. I'm going to move this over. Now my timer light is solid, so that means it's ready to go. I'm going to move my Platinum 6 slightly out of the way. So what you do is hold this down and it pulls out super simply. You just pull it straight. Then you get your Platinum 6 and it's nice and warm. You can still touch this bottom of the panel, but then you're going to just slowly run it through. And one thing I did link below that helped me so much when I got the Glimmer, because I bought the Glimmer myself from my local store. And I also bought the Glimmer, it was like a workshop. And the reason why I did that was because I thought, if I'm gonna buy this new tool, I'm gonna buy the workshop too. And I'm gonna go backwards because Yana did that too. I'm gonna buy the workshop too so that I can make the most out of my investment, because I think every tool that you buy for your craft space is an investment. So I bought the workshop. It came with a workshop kit. They still have that available. You can get that at the link below from Spellbinders, and I also linked up from scrapbook.com. So if you find it easier to ship from scrapbook.com, especially if you're in Canada, you can still get that. And when you buy your Glimmer, machine, you can take this workshop with the kit and follow along as Kim teaches you how to do it. She shows you what to do if you have overfoiling and what to do if you have underfoiling. And I just thought it was so super helpful for me as a newbie to this. I'm just gonna let my press plate fall off there. Okay, so here's my paper. Here's my foil. Let me go in tighter. So this is the time, like the reveal is like, okay, did I do this right? Did I do it okay? Hold on, Laura, I'm gonna look at your comment in just a sec. Oh my gosh, and it turned out beautiful. Look at that. There's like the teeniest, tiniest bit of underfoil right there on that leaf, and that's it. Can you guys see that? Tiny, tiny bit right there. But we're gonna be ink blending, so I don't think you're even going to notice that. So Laura said, what kind of cardstock are you using? I'm so glad you asked that. So yes, you use different cardstock for both. So Laura, I am using Scrapbook and Cards Today 110-pound cover weight. It is great cardstock. It's super smooth for blending, and I love it. And I think that I will also try Hammer Mill to see if I can, have things like that not happen. But I've had really good luck with the SCT cardstock. This is 110-pound. I've also used it with the 100-pound, but I think that the heavier cardstock works even better. But look at how beautiful that is. Oh, I do this every time, Catherine. So every time I do this, 100-pound, I'm using the 100-pound cardstock, so the thicker one on the SCT website. I do it every time, I don't know why. So yeah, I would try for like 100, 110. I know Yana uses 130-pound weight, which is like heavy. That's heavyweight cardstock. So, just use the heaviest you have on hand. And mine is really nice and smooth. This SCT cardstock is a beautiful smoothness. It's perfect for blending. Okay, Roberta said, the glass board pond magnets are stronger to lift your plates off. Oh, that's a great tip, Roberta. Thank you. Yeah, so the glass board magnets that come with your board. Yes, so SCT has 80 and 100, and I just used the 100. But I highly recommend all of their cardstock. It's good. Catherine, link it if you want. What I forgot to grab is my Picket Fence Studios mat, because I want to ink blend this now. So the great thing about doing this, you can foil and then ink blend before or after, totally up to you. I know Mindy says she likes to do it before, but the reason why I wanted to wait until after is because I'm following the lines of the palms to know where I want to ink up. Okay, so for this card, what I did here was I started with a darker teal. So we're gonna go with Juniper. And I'm gonna grab my darker teal brush. Just tell me if my mic sounds off, guys. Thanks, Laura. Yeah, Roberta says she loves the SCT cardstock too. Everyone I know who has used it says it's like butter. It's great. It's great. But I think, you know, try it with what you have on hand too. See what that does. It is, you know, it's like a work in progress to figure out the perfect combination. I ran mine through twice too. I don't always do that either. So what I think is really fun about this BetterPress plate is that you can kind of vary the inking and change up the colors. So on this one, I'm going to do that darker teal just at the top here. So this one is Juniper from Concord and Ninth. I do love Juniper. This is one of my, did I get that right? Yeah, Juniper. One of my favorite colors. I just think it's so pretty. And I'm just doing that like darker piece here. Okay, I'm gonna stop while I'm ahead. Hello, Charlene. So nice to see you. Thank you for stopping by. Charlene always makes amazing cards that make me look at them for about 10 minutes. Next, I'm gonna use Sea Glass. Perfect color for all the Spellbinders Club kits this month. Look at me, I wasn't even prepared. I didn't even get my ink stand out. I don't know what I'm doing today. For this one, I'm gonna go kind of in a diagonal across. And my Sea Glass, it is like one of my most colors, I think. So I definitely need to re-ink it more often than I do my other colors. So you'll see me like really working at Sea Glass. There it comes in there. But you'll see like a really nice variation of color here. And because this foil is heat set, you don't have to worry about it coming up or moving at all. So, you know, some foils that you put on with an adhesive, like a liquid, you have to be a little bit careful with. You can scratch those off. This one is gonna stay here. Thanks, Carrie. Nice to see you too. I love seeing familiar faces of people that I follow, that I love on Instagram, popping into lives just to join in on a Friday. I love that. See how pretty? And then you can kind of come in here and make this a little bit darker. I mean, this is all about color and shine. That's what's fun about it. Okay, I'm gonna stop there with that one and then go to another favorite color of mine. This is like such a fun color combination, and I've noticed lately that I've used so many like warmer tones, so I decided to go with some cooler ones this week. This is lemongrass, and this is a gorgeous color. It's like somewhere between a yellow and a green, which I love. And we're going to go up from this bottom and really make it saturated down here, and then kind of carry up this color to blend in with Sea Glass. So pretty. So tell me, guys, are you Spellbinders Club members? Have you thought about joining their clubs? Because I held out again. I hold out on everything for a long time, I think. It takes me a long time to decide to purchase anything. It really does. I do my homework. I make sure that, you know, things can be canceled easily, that, you know. And I started out with the die of the month, and then I realized that I really wanted embossing folders. So I switched over to that, and I love it. I love it a lot. Okay, so Laura, the BetterPress, I'm going to show you what I'm using for the BetterPress, but what I use for that one is from Spellbinders because it has more tooth to the cardstock, and that's what you need for the BetterPress so that it can make a better impression. Okay, so there is my blend Look how pretty. Isn't that lovely? Lovely. Okay, so let's get to the BetterPress and then I can make that card afterward. Let me put my blending brushes back over here so that I do not get them on anything. Okay, so BetterPress plates, as you've just seen, glimmer beautifully. So they do double duty with foiling and letterpress. Now, look here. So it's really hard to see, but if I run my finger over this, you can hear that it is debossed on those palm fronds. The thing that's amazing about BetterPress and these plates in general is look how fine the detail of the leaves are here. It's so fine, like finer than you could get from a stamp. And some of those BetterPress plates are super detailed, really, really detailed. And I have a few that I cannot wait to use to show you guys. But you can take your plate, and what I'm going to do is grab my BetterPress platform, and let me widen my camera a little bit here. Okay, I'm going to pull this up, put this over here. Jen, I am grabbing, so this is nice and smooth. See how smooth that is? That's what I just used. Compare it to this. It's really hard to see because it's white, but in person, you can see the little ripples on the paper. It has like a texture to it. It has a tooth, right? And this is what you need to BetterPress because it's a cotton cardstock and it impresses better than a regular smooth cardstock would, right? But what I found is that you can still ink blend on it just fine. And you can see a little bit more of that texture when you ink blend, but it's still really beautiful. Here's what I love about the BetterPress, and this is why, I keep going back and forth, and the whole reason for this video was to say, which do we like better? And at the end, I want to hear your comments. Like, did you like the Glimmer better? Watching me put the Glimmer together, watching me do it, which do you think is easier? This is what I love about the BetterPress, is you put your plate down, they have clear guides, A7 and A2, then you take your cotton stock card, and you can find the link to that below. I'm using porcelain, but they have it in several different colors. And remember, you're gonna flip this, so it's gonna be opposite. I'm gonna put my tape up here in this corner, because it's gonna be, no, wrong one, other one. I just said it's opposite, and here I don't do the opposite. I'm gonna put my tape up here in this corner, and I'm gonna put my tape down here on this side because I don't want my tape to be where the BetterPress is because you won't get that impression. And then when you flip it, your card is perfectly placed where your plate is going to be. I just love that. Yeah, Roberta says, I love the elegance of just the BetterPressed images. I agree, Roberta. They are amazing and beautiful. And Charlene is saying, how is your platform so clean? Well, Charlene, you missed the beginning because I just got my BetterPress because I was a holdout for so long. It's ridiculous, but yeah, I held out for a long time. But I've also been like cleaning it, and you can see a little bit of teal on the sides. I have like some old cleaner from close to my heart here that I was using. Okay, so BetterPress ink comes in like 4 packs, and I think this one is called Desert Sunset, and it came with like Tuscan, clay, coastal, and one other color. But this coastal is really, really beautiful. I also tried this with a Concord and Ninth color, maybe Juniper, and I tried that too. It's just a bit more inky, whereas this one really got those fine details in there. No secret. It's just, I'm a newbie. That's what it is, Charlene. I'm new. Okay, so with inking up, like go big or go home. Just ink the heck out of this. The great thing is this is magnetic. So unless you're going crazy on this BetterPress plate, it should not move. And you can kind of go like this and twist it as well. You can really press it down. You can see where your ink is, because you know those plates are silver, so as soon as that ink hits those plates, you're gonna see it. They also have refillers, so once your ink starts getting a little dry, then you can easily refill it. So I'm gonna be bold here, and I'm gonna do mine twice because I really want it nice and inky. Now that's taking a risk, because if anything moves, then it's a little scary, but Mindy's here. Hey, Mindy. I talked to Mindy yesterday and she was like, oh yeah, I do mine twice. I'm not scared. And I'm like, okay, if Mindy does it twice, I can do it twice too. I can do this. So I'm gonna move my BetterPress over here, and I'm just gonna put that on and let the magnets do their work. You don't have to move anything. Just let the magnets work for you. Then I am going to run it through. You don't press down, no pushing down. Just push it up to your platform 6 and let it pull it through and push it for you, right? So that's another way that it can help so that you don't get a double image if you do it twice. I got this, Mindy. I hope it doesn't mess up. Okay, so I'm just gonna run it through that one time and pull it back over here. There's a lot on my desk. My computer's right in front of me, so. Okay, so then without pushing it at all, I'm just gonna pick it straight up off the magnets and see how much I missed there. I missed a lot. And I probably already need to re-ink this because I've used it a lot in practice. And I probably could have gone a bit harder when I inked it up too. So pressing it down, and definitely going back to where like the center portion is, where I can see that I've really missed it. So yesterday when I did it twice, that is what I got. Super dark, super pretty. And I could have been rushing today. I could have been rushing. So be patient, ink it up, take your time. Don't rush like you're in a Facebook Live, YouTube Live, I should say. Don't rush. Okay. Okay, so my paper is still taped down. Really get that ink on there, and let's pray for the best. Okay. Mindy said I got this. I'm just gonna touch it, not do anything else, not push it. Grab my Platinum 6 and run it through and let the Platinum 6 push that plate down. Oh, and I'm hoping for the best. Don't rush. I know. I think I do rush a lot. Carrie, it says acid-free, permanent, and waterproof on these inks. Acid-free, permanent, and waterproof. So to me, that would say an alcohol-based ink. Okay, so that's a bit better, but I did get kind of a double image there, and that could be because of that. See how that happened there? Because my tape, which I've probably used for too long, had pulled up a little bit and moved. Okay, so that's okay because I have a backup. So what you would do in this case is just do it again. Just do it again. But I have a backup. This is my backup. And this was done 2 times last night, same ink, so I know it can turn out perfect. Look at that, right? And you have all those fine details in there too. So if my tape had helped me out there, then I probably would have got something better like this. Okay, so I'm gonna set this aside, my plate on top, and I'm gonna go down here and show you how this blends because it blends really beautifully as well. And again, the reason why I wanted to blend after the fact is because I wanted to blend more around the outside of the palm than I did the inside, and so I wanted to have the palm in place before I blended. On this one, I'm just going with lemongrass. Yeah, the tip is to tape the magnetic plate to the case per Yana. Okay, Roberta says, yeah, tape it to the case. That's a good idea too, Roberta. Yeah, this press plate is beautiful. And I love that it has these really nice white space areas that are perfect to just put your sentiment, because this is the kind of plate that you really don't need much else, but it can also be really beautiful if you put like the large die of the month in front of it, or so you can go really clean and simple, or put things on top of it and it's just gorgeous. Yeah, Liz says this plate is magnificent. I would agree. And I think that with the clubs, the BetterPress plate gives you such a great bang for your buck, because you can glimmer with it, you know, as you've seen, you can glimmer with it, and you can do BetterPress, so you can get different looks from it. Whew, okay, for this one, I'm gonna go, I need this to stick. I'm gonna go like heavy in the negative space and lighter around the palm fronds. So I'm gonna kind of pull that color out more when I get into the leaves. And you can see more of the tooth of the cardstock on this one because it's a BetterPress cardstock than you can on a smooth, but it still blends really beautifully. It still looks great. I love this combination too. And because I started with that coastal color, which was kind of a deep, more like a peacock blue, and then I'm putting this lemongrass on top of it, it's gonna turn it a little bit more green, and it's just gonna look really gorgeous. So black is one of those colors that's great if you wanna get a really bold image and then ink blend on top of that. I'm gonna try to use all my lemongrass here. So Carrie's asking Roberta, oh, thank you, Charlene, oil-based dye inks. So do you tape the card and the plate to make it extra secure? So that's a good idea, because I haven't done that before. So this is the great thing about creativity, is that we learn as we go, right? You just keep learning and you just keep getting better at things as you keep doing them. Look how pretty that is. Now, I'm gonna make it even more like apparent in these negative spaces, and I'm gonna put some sea glass in there just to kind of bring a little bit more of that tealy green color up there. Give it a bit more depth, I would say. Okay, and then I'm gonna do the same down here. Right around that area there. So then you have a little bit of variation in shading and the amount of color you have down on the panel. And then I'm gonna pull this up and look how pretty. Let's clean this lemongrass off. Yeah, Roberta's saying that's if you need to run the plate through again. The pounce and pivot. Yeah, so pounce and turn, right? Pounce and pivot. Okay, so there is our card panel. Where is my foiled one? There's our foiled one. So two different looks from the same plate, both really beautiful. So the next thing I want to do is get my sentiments. And for both of the sentiments, I used foil. So I'm gonna grab my white cardstock again. I'm gonna grab, look, I got that little baby piece of foil. Let's see. Whenever something gets on your foil like tape, just be careful that you don't pull off the foil, because then it's not gonna foil right. Okay, so remember this BetterPress of the month comes with these two sentiments, which are awesome. So I just turned my platform back on, and while it's getting ready, what I can do is cut down my card panels. Let me back out real quick so you can see. I'm going to go ahead and put these on just right next to each other, just making sure that you keep enough space in between them to die cut them out. So I'll put my cardstock over there. I'm going to trim these guys a little bit. For the foiled one, I think I trimmed 1/4 of an inch off total, but whatever you want to trim off to make a really nice outside edge. What did I have here? 5.5. Yeah, so let's go to 5 1/4 and trim that. And then I think I'd like to keep this teal, and I'll trim off the bottom 1/4 of an inch. So I'm going to go to 4 by 5 1/4 on that one. So nice little trim there. This one I did a vertical card, and I decided to only trim the edges because I thought that looked really nice, especially with some gold foil cardstock. So I think I trimmed a bit off of the sides. Let's see. I'll do 1/4 of an inch off of each side and make it a nice, oh, that's thick cardstock. You really got to push on that one. So I'm going to go to 3 3/4 by 5 1/2. See? And then it'll stick to the top and bottom of my cardstock panel. And I will go ahead and get those on my A2 panels. So for these, I'm using Parsley from Concord and Ninth. And I just really love the way that that looks. It looks so tropical and pretty. And do I have any tape runner here? What am I doing? It's Friday, isn't it? It's Friday. Okay, so I'm gonna tape this on. Tape my panels on. The other thing that's great is that with using the Glimmer and the BetterPress, when you get them out, you can just have like a session creating different backgrounds, different sentiments. So whenever I do sentiments with the Glimmer hot foil system, I do like 20 at a time, and I put them in little baggies just so I have them to create with. Oh, you know what I forgot to do is to put that gold foil on. I can just about get this up, I think. No, don't stick, don't stick. I like that gold foil on the edge because it just looks so pretty. Oh no. So this is Scrapbook Adhesives by 3L. They're the like solid tape runner, and this stuff means business. Like it sticks down, it sticks. Yes, these Concord and Ninth colors are beautiful, and they're fresh and just lovely. Okay, here's my foil. Now, a secret, I usually use foil that has something cut out from the inside. So if you look on the back of this piece of foil, there's like a big oval cut out in there, and nobody knows the difference. So I like to, you know, repurpose, cut into pieces of foil for something like this. Okay, that's better. Now we can put this back on. And this is just going to peek outside of those edges, and it's going to give that sentiment like some foil to relate to on the sides, right? So it doesn't look like I just randomly put a foiled sentiment on there. Okay, for my sentiment, it says my platform's ready. So for these, I don't have to worry that I'm centering them on the cardstock or anything like that. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that little piece of foil on. I'm going to grab my Glimmer plates and put this on here. I'm going to try to conserve some paper by putting these in that bottom corner. And I'm going to put my plates on and hit the timer button. So when that stops flashing, and I'll tell you guys when that happens, then it'll be ready. So this card base is done. And then for this one, I'm going to put this on Juniper, since we started with that Juniper cardstock, and just do a frame of Juniper with no other foil, because there's plenty of foil on that foiled panel, so we don't need any more than that. And making sure that I've got this straight, because as you could see before, this tape runner sticks down rather quickly. Okay, so there's that. Super duper pretty. Okay, so those two are ready. And then my timer is still flashing right now. The only thing we have to do is put our sentiments on. Now my timer says it's ready. So I'm going to back up a little bit. So you can see there that my timer light is solid. And just like you did with the background plate, oh, I forgot I have to take this out. Pull this out straight, nice and carefully, and run it through the Platinum 6 nice and slowly. Sentiments have been super easy for me. I have not had any issues with sentiments with foiling. They come out really beautifully every time. Okay, so I'm putting those on there. I'm gonna pull off my paper and let's see. Let's see, you guys. Oh, so pretty. Oh, there's a tiny bit of over foiling right there. And I'm gonna show you, this is a really good example of what you can do if there is over foiling. Let me move all this out of the way and I'm gonna turn off my Glimmer, but it does have a turn off switch on the Glimmer so that you can not worry. Okay, so I have a mono sand eraser here. Come in close. Let me show you what you can do with this. So you can see this one turned out perfect. This one has a bit of overfoiling here. So around the relaxing and birthday. So you can take your mono sand eraser and just really ever so lightly go over the sentiment so that this is nice and flat, and it will take off that foil that's not inside the sentiment, right? So just so lightly, just go like that. And the foil that's on the surface of the paper, like you can see this teeny tiny little bit right there. If I go like that, then it goes away. So anything that's not debossed, it will take off that foil. So that's a super easy fix for that one. And then I can just die cut these out. I'm going to use my best ever craft tape, but just remember that if tape sticks to your foil, it can pull it up. So try not to stick the tape to your foil. Stick it to the die itself, but not down into that foil. Yeah, Jen, that's a tip I think I learned from Kim, maybe in that Glimmer course, the workshop, which I really found to be so worthwhile. And it was super long too. It was so worth the money. Okay, I'm just gonna run this through real quick. Right behind me, and then we can pop these out because that tape is not even touching the paper. So you can just pop those out. And then one thing that I think really makes a card look, just elevates it, is if you layer up your sentiment, right? So for this one, I have 3 layers that I'm going to put below. And just, you know, add some glue to those, touch them together, and then use your fingers to line those up. I just think it's worth the extra time to do this, and we always have like extra white cardstock laying around. You don't have to use like the best cardstock here. Just use, you know, offcuts that you have on hand just to layer those up. And then you can add your actual sentiment here, and then you don't have to use foam adhesive. It just looks really nice and thick. I've been really into like thick cards lately, like lots of cardstock layers, like this one. It's not going anywhere. It's nice and sturdy, right? I'm too close here. Let me go out. So on this one, I put sending a sunny hello down here in this kind of negative space because I think it works really well with the palm fronds being down here. It kind of points to it. And then to finish this one off, all I did was add some of these Spellbinders teal color essential gems. And I think that these just look so pretty with this card in teal. And I love how tiny they get their gems. Like I love tiny gems. So the tinier the better. I hardly ever use like the big ones, but the tiny ones are always my favorite. So I'll just put 3 there. And that's an easy card to create, right? Now I have 2. And then for wishing you a relaxing birthday, I'm going to do the same. Charlene says that she thinks it makes such a difference and she's having a hard time typing. That's because it's Friday, Charlene. I think we're having a hard time lifing because it's Friday, right? Just want to give up. But we're not going to. Okay. Put those 3 layers there. I like the wishing you a relaxing birthday the best. I just think that's nice. And this is going to be, I think, my dad's birthday card because his birthday is at the end of the month. And it's a perfect card, actually, for a guy or a woman because I think palm fronds are universal. It doesn't matter. It's just kind of a relaxing card, right? My dad is a gardener, and so I think he would appreciate this one. Roberta says the big ones are good for flower centers. They sure are. And Spellbinders has a lot of flowers to use for centers. To finish off this card, let me make sure that's nice and straight on there. So I have a few of these left, and I'm just not ready for them to be done because I love them so much. But these are from Honeybee, and they were in a kit that I created for SCT magazine, and we use these and I just love them. And they're the most beautiful little sequins without holes in them, and they come in a variety of colors. And I'm just going to be so sad when they're totally gone. I really will. Okay, I'm just trying to get the right colors on here. So they have like greens and yellows. That yellow is halfway, so we don't want that one. Trying to get the right colors here. And then you get like 40 million stuck together because that only happens in a live. Okay. And apparently the sequins do not want to go on my card today. I think maybe static is having a play. Okay, so there's these. And then you can kind of have them go really beautifully, like kind of cascade through the sentiment. And I think that looks super duper pretty. Roberta says, Megan, are you going to make all of the other cards in the summer camp kit? That's a good question, Roberta. I don't know if we will get the whole kit. So I made my class cards, and then I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bonus cards, I think. And I might make more bonus cards from my kit and my bundle. So I don't know, maybe if, I don't know if we will get the actual whole kit when we're there at Concord and 9th, but stay tuned. I will let you know. Okay, here are our card projects. And I'd love for you to tell me what your favorite is. Do you like Glimmer, or do you like the BetterPress more? So they both like have, you know, a look about them. The Glimmer, I mean, it's awesome that BetterPress does both, right? But if you had to pick up your BetterPress plate and you only had 20 minutes to make a card, which one of these would you have done? Would you have done the BetterPress or the Glimmer? I'd love to know. And Carrie says, both of these are so beautiful. I love how you show the versatility of this die. Thanks, Carrie. And, you know, if you guys are considering a Spellbinders, let me just put these back. If you're considering a Spellbinders kit of the month, Find the links in my description below. I highly recommend. You can cancel at any time and before the shipping date. And so I just find you can also switch. So I canceled one and I went to another one. And I just find that if you want to try something new, this is a really great thing to do. Mindy says, in this case, my fave is the Glimmer. Yeah, and you know what, Mindy? I just don't know. I think for me, the Glimmer on this one wins out just because I just love the way, look at that shine. Oh, it's blinding. I just love the way it looks. I just think it's so beautiful. It's really hard, Liz. But there's something that's really high-end looking about letterpress. I don't know what it is. It just reminds me of like you went to Paper Source and spent $10 on a card. That's what the letterpress does for me. So Jen says, if I could only have 20 minutes, I would do BetterPress, but I love the look of the foil. Yeah. Roberta says, hope to get the whole kit, the Glimmer one in this design, but I love both. Yeah. I really appreciate you guys being here, and you know, yeah, Laura says, I love Spellbinders Club, so you can cancel or not from month to month. You can, and that's what's awesome. So 1 month, if you don't have the budget, you cancel. And then the other cool thing is that say that you don't get the club, you can wait till the following month and pick up those products from the Spellbinders store. But club members get theirs first. So the club members also get special perks, like a 10% off of any Spellbinders products. So if like these have been on your wish list and you join a club, you can get 10% off of the Spellbinders brand products as well. So Carol says she prefers a BetterPress. Charlene says, I do like both, hard to choose. Like, I know, it's really hard, but thank you guys so much for hanging out with me while I created with this kit of the month. And I will be sharing the stamp and die of the month with the embossing folder later in the month before the pre-order period ends. And don't forget, there's only a finite amount of time that you can sign up for this club to get this BetterPress of the month if you love it as much as I do. So go to the website at the link in my video description below and check that out. All right. Kathy says, I'm hoping when I do go to a scrapbooking show, I can see how they look and decide if I want one. Well, I have to say, Kathy, like they really are beautiful. Like they create a really high-end look. So I would say, don't be like me and hold out. Just go and get it. And they're a really great price too, because you're going to get your money's worth out of it. All right, guys. Well, I thank you so much. Don't forget to follow me everywhere. MeghanAndrew.com, Meghann Andrew on Instagram, and Meghann Andrew on Facebook as well. So you'll find my page there. And I will be back next week live on Friday. I have no idea what I'm making yet, but we'll make something fun and we'll chat together. So thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoy your weekend and happy creating. Bye, guys.